The reason you're trading might not actually be what you think it is. The reason you're failing doesn't necessarily have to mean that your strategy doesn't work or you just blatantly suck at trading. It could be a multiple range of different things. When I was unprofitable and looking back at it, like truly looking back at it, I was struggling the most with not improving, kind of being at this plateau of just moving sideways. And a big factor of that is not journaling your trades. I think it is very, very, very important to journal your trades. If you want to be a good trader, you journal every single trade. You journal every move that you make in the live markets should be documented into your journal. Your feelings and get as many data points as you possibly can gather. Because the more data points, the better. The more data points, the more you'll be able to look at those losses and wins and know exactly what you did wrong or exactly what you did right. Because not everybody has a mentor who can tell them exactly what they're doing wrong and right. You need as much data points as possible because, like I said, if you don't have a mentor, you're doing this shit alone. You have to actually understand what you're doing wrong and right, and there's no other way to figure that out rather than getting all your data points, seeing what you were feeling, seeing what you were looking for, etc. And that's a very, very big part of probably why you're unprofitable. I talk to a lot of traders, and a lot of them say they do not journal. In fact, my co-owner of the Discord, which link's going to be in the bio, we live trade for free every single day. But the co-owner of the Discord hasn't been journaling his trades. And I've been trying to tell him, like, you got to journal your trades, and I think he's going to start journaling all of his trades for obviously this upcoming year, which is very, very important. When you want to actually make that next step and you want to become better at this skill, keep in mind I said skill, not try to make a bunch of money for no reason. If you want to become good at this skill, you have to journal. And at the end of the day, you can't be average with this skill. You can't. Because if you're average, you're unprofitable. If you're average, you don't make money. Right? I don't care if you're average at your 9 to 5 job, you're still making money, right? If you're average at this shit, you go bankrupt. You lose your shit if you're average. You cannot be average. You have to be above average. And that means doing the annoying shit nobody wants to do. Trading is a lot more than just looking at charts and executing trades on a day-to-day basis. You're doing a lot of stuff, etc., on the weekends too, right? When the market's closed, on the weekends, you're still going back, maybe back testing for a little bit, maybe looking through your journal, maybe taking time on filling out your journal entries after the market's closed when you're done taking your trades, right? I mean, those little things actually add up very, very big when it comes to your progress in trading. And me personally, I've been journaling for, it's been a year now. It's been a full year since I've been trading now. And a year ago, it feels like it was 3 years ago. And that's just how crazy journaling actually is. I made like a 3 year progress just simply from journaling my trades. And what I can also tell you is when it comes to prop firms, when it comes to funded accounts, I would say the hardest thing with funded accounts is simply getting in that system, right? A lot of you guys aren't trading with live capital, so it's gonna be a lot easier for you. I traded with live capital at first, I still do, but then went to funded accounts, right, to get some extra money. And it was actually a lot harder to make money with a funded account than a live account because I could just place a trade and make money with a live account. You don't do that with a funded, right? Sometimes you have to over risk a little bit to be able to pass your evals faster because those evals mean nothing, right? You need to pass those evals, so you have to over risk, do some unconditional things to be able to actually pass that eval, then start using risk management a little bit better on those funded accounts. And I've been building a system around it. But I have not been trading futures for that long. I've been trading, Forex, and I turned $500 into over $45,000 in like 5 months trading Forex. I was using an unregulated broker that had more value on my money, so then I was able to risk more. I then moved to a regulated broker, then I ended up switching to futures, so then I stopped trading that in that live account for a little bit. But that's besides the point. I was in Forex first, and I tried a funded account, and I thought it was hot shit because I passed my first funded account, my first try, got a payout my first try. It was like a $3,000 payout. And what happened after that? I wasn't able to pass another funded account. And I don't know if Forex is harder to pass than futures. I feel like it actually is because you have to grow the account by like 8% instead of the 3 in futures or 2 in futures. You have to go at 8%, and then after that, you have to go to phase 2, which is 5%, and then after that, you can start making money. It was a brutal, long process. It took me months to pass an eval with Forex. And then ended up securing a $3,000 payout. But that's besides the point. After that, I ended up reinvesting that $3,000. I actually spent $1,500 on new accounts, which was like 3 accounts. So I started scaling and ended up actually blowing those once I switched over to futures. I was like, yeah, I don't need these anymore. I ended up blowing them. Didn't get a payout off of those. I think the main takeaway on that is simply the fact that I just tried to go all in too quickly in funded accounts. I couldn't prove to myself that I was consistently profitable on fundeds. I was consistently profitable on live accounts, sure, but not on funded accounts. And a lot of people don't talk about this, but they're not the same thing. And like if you are on live, right, and you're trading live for so long, and then you go to a funded account, it's night and day difference, dude. Because you have to use such a different system, such a different way of risk management in your evals and your funded accounts than you do on just a regular live account with your own money. And it took me a while to actually be able to adjust to it, but now I'm starting to get the hang of things. Now I'm starting to get in a little bit of flow state, understand the difference, knowing when to risk more, when to risk less on funded accounts, and stuff like that. But my main takeaway from that whole experience, telling you guys as new traders or newer traders or someone who's failing to find profitability, what my main takeaway on all of that experience was simply journaling. That's what it was. It was going back, looking at what I was doing wrong, looking at how much I was risking. Holy shit, risking too much. Holy shit, risking too low. Maybe my losses are destroying my winners, and being able to adjust with my risk management. And there's no way of finding that out other than journaling and seeing what my emotions were throughout that, because maybe I was taking super stupid trades, or maybe I was over trading, using FOMO, stuff like that. Because when you journal your emotions, you're going to figure that stuff out real quick, especially if you journal after you don't feel anything, after you're completely fine with the loss or completely fine with the win. You go journal, go view your journal after you're not emotional, and you're going to see a night and day difference. You're going to be like, holy shit, this was a stupid trade. What was I thinking? And as you continue to do this, it only takes time. It's only a matter of time before you're completely emotionless throughout the trading world. And a lot of people say, oh, I'm emotionless. A lot of people say, oh, like I'm this, that. But before they enter a trade, they're still like going crazy. Before they hit take profit, they're still going crazy. Before they hit stop loss, like, fuck, I suck at trade, right? Get rid of this mindset, guys, right? Stop doing this solely for the money, which is actually another point and another main point I want to talk about. You are you're probably unprofitable because you care so much about the money. You care way too much about the money, dude. Like, if you actually cared about the skill, becoming better, journaling, seeing your losses, seeing your winners, seeing what you're doing wrong, fixing them, making sure you're not duplicating losses or mistakes day over day, improving day over day, you will become better than everybody else. And the fun thing about trading is you don't have to be better than everybody else. You don't. You just have to be better than yourself. You have to be better than your past self, be able to learn from your mistakes, and continue to move forward. Trust me, I know trading is probably in itself one of the most boring skills to acquire. And the reason I'm saying this is because, yes, you look at charts, but you probably look at charts from like 9:30 Eastern time to like 11, right? And then after that, you don't do shit. And that's why I'm saying it's the most boring thing ever, because then you have to sit here, journal your trades. You probably honestly spend more time journaling your trades, looking at your mistakes, trying to fix things than you do actually trading in the markets. And that's why it's so fucking boring, because no one wants to do that shit. But if you actually do that shit, you're going to be better than everybody else, period. So if you want this bad enough and you want to be better than everybody else, you're going to do what it takes, which is collecting data. That's what trading is. You have to adapt to the market and collect data. That's all it is. It's not copying someone else's strategy. It's not following someone's signals. It's finding your own data, working off your own data, making adjustments when needed, and stop making those stupid ass dumb decisions that you know are bad. Like, you know they're bad, but you continue to do them. If I could tell you that patience, consistency, not trading too much would make you profitable, then why the fuck would you do anything else? Why the fuck would you do anything else? Then those 3 things. You would just stick to those 3 things, and you do that throughout your life, not just in trading. Go to the gym every day. Eat better. Get your protein intake in. Do those things outside of trading, and trading becomes easy. trading becomes a piece of cake. Data collecting is the only thing that fucking blows. And I will always say that because it sucks. But guess what? You have to do it. You have to do it. And if you don't do it, then be average and be unprofitable for the rest of your life. But the minute you make that switch in your life and you start collecting data, you start caring about your fucking trading skill or skills or whatever, you'll be better. And it only comes with time. It's boring right now. You're moving sideways right now, it feels like, right? You're just not making any progress. You're not declining or inclining. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. Because when you first start trading, it's just like this. It's like, holy shit, I'm learning more. I'm learning more. I'm learning more. I'm learning more. And then as you continue to take trades, it's like, holy shit, this is what it feels like right now. I'm not being better. I'm not being worse. Like, what the fuck's going on? But it's not the reality. Just because that's what it feels like, that's not what's actually happening. And I think the main problem with this is you guys base it off of your P&L. For example, I'm in a trade right now. It's almost 1 p.m., right? I'm in this trade. Okay, I'm up $600 right now. Okay, I'm already up $1,200 on the day. Okay, keep that in mind. And I took this trade because I like the higher time frames, right? I go to the 30-minute, I go to the 15-minute. Holy shit, this looks like it wants to dump. I'm just going to click the sell button and just see what happens, right? I mean, if I lose, I lose. Who cares? I just like this sell. It looks really good. So I took the sell button. I'm up $700. I'm not sitting here freaking out. I could give less of a fuck right now, right? Because I'm getting work done. But that's besides the point. Once you stop caring about the money and you care about the setups, you care about, oh, is this a good setup? Oh, is this with my strategy? Oh, is it this? Does it check my boxes? Then take it. Stop letting a monetary result let you dictate if you're happy or sad that day. Let you dictate if you're successful or unsuccessful. Become good at the skill. The money will follow. And you'll just become successful with becoming good at the skill. And becoming good at this skill is taking data, learning from mistakes. I mean, I can just sit here and repeat for 24/7, but that's what it takes. Take data, learn from your mistakes, backtest occasionally. You don't have to backtest 24/7. Backtest occasionally. Keep your mind sharp. And don't take stupid, dumb mistakes, and you're going to be profitable. Stay patient. Stay consistent. Stop placing too many trades. There's profitability. Day trading doesn't have to be you take a trade every single day. It just means you execute within the same day. Don't get that mixed up. But that's all I have for the new year. Happy New Year, guys. Take New Year by the balls, and let's print some fucking money this year.